This program was transcribed from an earlier network broadcast. The Candid Microphone. The American Broadcasting Company presents The Candid Microphone, the program that brings you the secretly recorded conversations of all kinds of people as they react in real life to all kinds of situations. No one ever knows when he's talking into the Candid Microphone.
Whether you're from Texas or Timbuktu, you are a likely subject for the Candid Microphone. Candid Mike might just meet you by accident, or he might set an elaborate trap to catch you off guard, just as he did to catch this first candid portrait of a girl from Texas. Now, the state of Texas is, without doubt, the largest in the land, and the proud boasts of its native sons and daughters are also, without doubt, period. Nothing is more certain than death in Texans, so don't question a Texan's word and never pan the panhandle. But if you feel like heading for the last roundup, just try telling a Texan he wasn't born in the Lone Star State or that she doesn't talk like a Texan. Candid Mike, that bold cowhand, heard about one beautiful girl from Texas who had come east for a screen test. So he posed as a movie producer looking for a Texas leading lady. A couple of the unsuspecting girl's friends have brought her to the office where Candid Mike and the girl from Texas are talking things over. Candid Mike is from Missouri, and he wants to be shown. Listen.
Do you really come from Texas?
Certainly. I was born in Dallas. I've lived in Houston all my life. I am from Texas. I am from Texas. I lived there all my life. This is the first time I've ever been out of Texas except when I was in Tulsa.
You see, in this story, the girl is from Texas, and she gets a big chance to act, but she's unsuccessful, and she has to go back home.
That's just the story of what happened to me. I was in Houston. I was modeling in a specialist shop. I was working in a display department in a store, and a photographer saw me, and he said, "May I take a picture of you for display in the window in my studio?"
No, you say display. Now you're trying to impress me.
No, I'm not. I'm talking just like I always talk.
No.
Well,
you weren't talking that way a minute ago.
Maybe I was nervous.
Oh, why don't we forget the whole thing about Texas? Can you act like a Texan?
Certainly.
And could you learn to talk like a Texan?
Yes. You realize that I come to New York and people tell me, don't talk like a Texan. Go to dramatic school. Take diction. Do anything. Forget your Texas accent. Now, that's what people tell me.
Well, why don't you tell me now straight?
Okay.
Tell me where you're really from.
Will you let me explain something to you?
I'll let you explain anything, but don't
A million funny things have happened to me in this town.
Really?
I was kicked out of my test because I had a Texas accent. And I have got a Texas accent. If you don't believe me, I can't help it. Then forget the whole thing. I have got a Texas accent. I'm from Houston, Texas. I was born in Texas. And if you can't hear it, then you're not from Texas. Or there's something for me.
I'm not from Texas, but
okay,
I know.
Maybe I don't have a Texas accent, but I am from Texas.
No.
It's fantastic. I've lived in Texas all my life.
Well, you told me a while ago you lived in Oklahoma for a while.
2 years.
You're not from Texas, huh?
Look, don't tell me I'm not from Texas. I'm from Texas. I know it. Now, if you want to forget the whole thing, I'll leave and goodbye. But don't tell me I'm not from Texas because I'm from Texas.
Now, could you ride?
Yes.
Are we going to have the same thing about that? Can you really ride?
Yes. What else do you want to ask me?
No.
My hair's blonde. I'm a blonde. I got brown eyes. I'm 5'6". I am from Texas. This is the silliest thing that I was so enthused when I got to this stupid town about my test, and I was kicked right square in the seat of the pants for having a Texas accent.
You were.
The thing that you're telling me, the story you're telling me about, a girl comes to New York, she gets a test. That's me. That's what happened to me. When Frank Farrell of the Times interviewed me, he says, "Pat, keep a diary." He says, if you go back to Houston, it'll be a good story. A girl from Texas comes to New York and she fails. And say why you failed. Because
well, that's
of
exactly
wolves?
the story.
Because guys giving you the business?
Wolves.
Did you ever heard the word before? Let me tell you what I did. I went to work for Chris Pratt and sold motorboats. What do you want to do? Get rid of me? You want me to get up and walk out of here?
No.
Is that what you want me to do?
No. Why?
Well, then what do you give me the business for? I'm telling you, I'm from Texas. Now, if you can't believe me, I can't help it. I'm not proud of it. Texas State, I don't care where I'm from.
Well, you should. Now, that's another thing about that. Anybody from Texas who isn't proud of it is not a Texan.
Okay, I'm proud of it. It's a wonderful state. I even bought a ticket to Houston. I said, I'm through with it. I'm through with those guys up there. I'm through with the knocks and the breaks. I don't want to take it anymore. I bought the ticket. The girl said, you're crazy. Everything's just coming your way. People are beginning to help you. They're calling people. They're taking an interest in you. Go back and give it one more month, Pat. Quit Chris Kraft.
Yeah.
So I quit.
You think this is a crazy town?
Yes.
Well, what's happened tonight is crazier than anything that you've ever had.
It certainly is.
You got any folks in Texas now?
Yes. Mother and father and 2 brothers and a sister.
When you were on the radio, did they hear you?
No.
Why don't they know?
Those stations don't get to Texas.
Well, how would you like to be on Coast to Coast?
Love it.
We do a show called The Candid Microphone.
I heard it last week, the little boy saying, God bless the milkman and all that stuff.
That's right. We did.
I hate you. I hate you.
Whether he's an Indian faker in Calcutta or a fake Indian in a Kansas sideshow, the magician is a man of mystery who takes his secrets to the grave. But the man behind the counter in a magic store has no such illusion. He's out to sell his magic tricks, but he won't show you how they work until you show your money. Well, you can be sure that Candid Mike was up to his old tricks when he went shopping for some new tricks. The scene is the Royal Magic Shop, and Candid Mike is examining a trick device that looks like a small guillotine. Always ready to poke around in somebody else's business, our shopper was toying around with the toy guillotine when the merchant of Vanish came rushing over saying,
Don't put your finger in. Don't put your finger in unless you know how, because it'll really cut until you know how.
It looks as though it's chopping your finger in half.
That's right. That's right.
Isn't.
That's right. Now watch it. Push this in this way. Your finger's still there, but it chops that in half. Eh?
Let me see you do it again. Chops that toothpick right in half. That looks wonderful.
Well, that's...
How do you do it?
Don't put your finger in until you know how.
Well, I just saw you do it.
Well, don't you do it, because there's a little thing that I do that you overlook.
Well, I just saw you just put the...
Well, don't do it, because you'll cut your finger. I do something else that you didn't notice. That's what the fool. If you put your finger in now, you'll cut yourself.
No.
All right, now you put your finger in and you see if you don't cut it. You try to force it. Don't bang it down, you'll cut your finger.
Well, I just saw you...
But I do something different. That's the magic part of it.
What's the secret here?
One thing at a time. Now, which of these did you want to get? Now, I'll give you the explanation.
About how much are some of these tricks?
Oh, this is $4. This is $1. They're not...
Which is for?
This one, the finger chopper.
That one kills me. I think I could do it still.
If you put your finger in, it will cut you. Unless you know how. But please, you don't put...
You're making it look harder.
Oh, no. I'm telling you the truth.
Well, let me try it. I'm not afraid.
All right. I warned you now. Don't hold me liable. If you put your finger in, it'll cut you.
You banged it down.
I'm not kidding. I mean it. Now, there's a way of handling it. That's the trick of it. When somebody else tries it, they can't do it. You can.
When someone else tries it, they cut their finger?
Yes.
What's funny about that, then?
Well, they're not supposed to. They're supposed to guess how you did it. It's a trick.
What's the principle of it?
I'm sorry. At magic, I can't tell you anything until you buy the tricks.
But I mean, it's like buying a pig in a poke.
All I can tell you is that they really work. You'll have to accept my word.
All right, now here this finger chopping is how much?
$4.
$4.
Well, if you want it, I'll show you how.
All right, I'll buy
Get your finger out of it. On the inside of this thing, we have a double knife. You can put a cigarette, incidentally, underneath if you want to cut that in half. I use toothpicks. It's cheaper. Here's what you didn't see me do. As I pull that thing back the second time, I put my finger here. Now watch what takes place when your finger is there.
Oh, there's another blade.
That's right. That's what you didn't see me do.
That's when you gave it to me, you made that second blade come out.
That's right. Now see it. When the blade does not go all the way down, it's safe to put your finger in. Now put your finger in. Go ahead.
No, I'm afraid of that.
Now, put your finger in, sir. Go ahead.
Why? You wouldn't let me do it before.
Now you can put your finger in. Go right ahead.
You put your finger.
Why not? It's absolutely safe. Put your finger in there.
I don't like it.
No, go ahead. I won't hurt you in any way. Go ahead. Don't be afraid now. Go ahead. Put your.
I believe it.
Now put your finger in and try it.
No, I saw the blade.
Put your finger in and try it. Don't be afraid. Try it. Put your finger in. Go ahead.
Let me see you do it once more.
Oh, gosh.
But when you give it to me, you might be putting that other blade up.
What purpose would I do that for? I want to sell these things. Put your finger in.
No fooling around now.
Ow. Pinching anyway?
No. So we paid $4 to get that
That's
thing.
right, with your instructions right there.
Have you got any hats where you can get rabbits at them or anything like that?
Well, that's a sleight of hand trick. That isn't done from the hat. That can be done from any hat.
Well, where do you get the rabbits?
Buy a rabbit yourself in any pet shop.
Well, you have to buy the rabbits.
Oh, surely.
Where do you usually put the rabbits?
I'm sorry, I can't answer that question again. Don't bang it down. It'll cut your finger off.
Would you like to catch Candid Mike before he catches you? Well, maybe this will help you. He's got 3 ears, 2 to hear with and 1 to use for eavesdropping. It doesn't look like an ear, but then it doesn't look like a microphone either. It's the Candid microphone, and it hears without being seen. That's why, for all you don't know, the Candid microphone might be hidden in your home right now, or it might be waiting for you tomorrow at your office. So look out for Candid Mike, the man who may try to catch you in the act of being yourself by catching you off guard. Well, now you know how, where, and when Candid Mike may get you on record. But no one ever knows when he's talking into the Candid microphone. A man's home is his castle. But when he's late for dinner, it's his wife's fortress. Yes, be he ever so humble, there's no safe place at home for the husband who forgot to come to dinner. That's when a fella needs a friend to back him up when he's facing the music. But what do you think you would say to a stranger who walked up to you and asked you to come home with him because he's 5 hours late and afraid to face his wife alone? It's late in the evening, and our man with the hidden mic is standing on the corner of a quiet suburban street talking to a passerby. He has just explained his need for reinforcement, but he's getting some advice. Listen.
I'll tell you frankly, it'll make it worse if I walk in with you. I'll tell you, definitely worse. You have your own place, or you have in-laws?
Oh, yeah, I own my own house.
You have your own place?
Yeah.
Walk in. I'm sorry.
That's what I said the last time.
You listen to good advice. Don't drag anybody in on it, because you're going to just make it worse for yourself.
You don't think that if you walk in with me and say, look, don't be mad.
Well, it won't help you. I can assure you, it won't help you. Because where there's 3, what is he bringing this guy in for?
Well,
He's that kind of like it's not going to work out. You want my advice.
Yes, I do.
That's what I would advise you to do.
I've been standing here for an hour trying to think up an excuse.
Don't think an excuse. Don't think an excuse. Walk in. You're guilty of something.
Well, she's going to be very
You
mad.
walk in and you keep your mouth shut. She asks you, you tell her.
Well, suppose she socks me or something like that. I wouldn't know what to do then.
So what can you do? You're not going to hit her?
Oh, no.
You're not going to hit her?
Think of it. No, she's too sweet.
Well, let her get her out of it. Let her get her out of the system.
And I should let her slap me in the face or
Let her
something?
get her out of the system.
Well, it'd hurt me very much if she did.
The average woman doesn't hit. As you say, she may be sitting there now wondering and falling her head off and thinking, man, maybe she thinks there's something happened to you. I mean, I'll tell you frankly, I wouldn't bring anybody in. I'd go in and take my beating.
Well, she isn't a little girl. I mean, she's...
I've taken beatings in my life, too.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, when I mean a beating, I don't mean a physical beating.
Mm-hmm.
If she loves you, she'll think you're a louse. If you can convince her that's what it was, you'll have nothing to fear.
You really think so? You don't
honestly
think I should try to tell her anything?
I wouldn't tell her anything out of the way. You were playing
Because
cards.
I'm worried, I'm telling
We
you.
were playing cards. I was stuck, or I was ahead, I couldn't get away, or whatever it was.
Do you think... See, actually, I lost about $80, but do you think if... I mean, I keep a little money on the side.
Yeah.
Do you think if I came home with maybe $200 and said, look, I've been out all night trying to win money to...
that may help in this way. If you got a couple of bucks with you now that you can, in singles, that you can show her that you were ahead and you couldn't get away. You were ahead one time, $500 or $600 or $800, and you couldn't get it. No, you couldn't get away. The boys wouldn't let you get away.
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't let me leave with the winnings.
That's right.
That's good.
I mean, that's the only. But don't go in with anybody else. To make it any harder, don't. And you come in. I was way ahead, and you fellas wouldn't let me go.
You know, tell the truth. It does something for me.
It does, definitely. It's the only thing I could advise you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't drag anybody in. Go in yourself. Don't get your temper up. Be the underdog there for a couple of days. It'll straighten out.
Uh-huh.
And that's what listen, I found one thing in my 22 years. That you tell them the truth. It'll always work.
It will.
It'll work. That's the only way you can do it. Tell her you're way ahead. All right, so you add a little bit to it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when I say tell the truth, of course, there are some things we don't tell, like you've got a little mistake on the side. All right, that's okay. It's for an emergency like this.
In other words, you should tell your wife the truth and nothing but the truth. But you don't have to tell her the whole truth. Some men mash grapes and some may hang drapes, but Candid Mike may catch them all off guard. He may get his secret records at the oddest times, too. For example, when Candid Mike called a curtain hanger for an estimate on what it costs to hang some drapes, he was only planning to get some curtains hung. But the man who came to estimate the job soon began to sound like a guy who would rather make a friend than a sale. A good man to have on record. Here is a man whose prices are high, but his ethics are high, too. Candid Mike has just been told what it costs to hang some drapes. And he's telling the salesman that his rough estimate is too rough. Listen.
$60 is fantastic.
Hello. He says it's fantastic. 45. He's under the impression that it should cost much, much less. Okay. It's fantastic. I know it's fantastic. What do you want me to do?
Why does it have to cost $45?
My time is worth that much.
If you can do this in a half a day.
Listen, the way you put it, I mean, it's just got to bring in that income. I mean, you should have realized that whoever's going to put it up is going to take advantage of you. If we don't take advantage, someone else will.
If you want to put some drapes in an office, you have to get rook for it?
You don't have to get rook, but I mean, it'll take me at least 3 or 4 hours.
To put screws in the wall.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I don't say it's worth it. It's worth for my boss. It's worth $45. That's what he's got to bring in. After all, he's in business. He's got to pay his rent. He's got to pay me.
But you don't have to pay $45 to put up a few drapes.
I'm telling you the honest truth. If you have 3 men,
yeah,
they look good, strong, healthy.
Yeah.
You got a step ladder in the building.
Yeah.
Go out and get yourself a roll drill, roll plugs, and you're all set.
What's the matter? Don't you want the job?
I make $140 a week.
Yeah.
I sold one order today, $5,000.
Of draperies?
Yeah.
What kind of
I
draperies?
get 5%. It's $250 I made today. I don't want to get rich. As long as I live comfortable, I got my own home. What more do I want? My bills are paid. Have my own car. What do I need? I want to save you money. I don't want to see you spend money foolishly. Because I know it's fantastic.
Oh, you know that the price is too high.
I told you it's fantastic. But that's what it's got to cost, whether it's you or Rockefeller or anybody else. I put these men to work. Give them a ladder and take them. If it takes them 4 or 5 hours, you got that much saving.
True.
What are they doing? I mean, if they were busy, okay, I guess.
Aren't you ashamed to quote a price that high?
We have to. We have to.
Why do you have to? Can't you quote a reasonable price?
Don't pay.
But you're admitting that your price is outrageous.
To you, it sounds outrageous. To me, it does. But to my boss, that's the proper price.
Why did he come down from 60 to 45?
You know how it is.
Huh?
You know how it is. You try to get as much as you can. What kind of business is this? I'm not too inquisitive.
We make secret recordings of people's voices. They don't know when they're making a record, and we make a record of it, see? Now, for instance, I just recorded everything you and I said.
So?
Want to hear it?
I believe you.
Want to hear it?
It's not necessary. I didn't say you can't. Whatever I said, I mean, it's true, and that's all. There's nothing to hide.
You want it to be on the radio?
Who needs it on the radio? What do I need a radio for? Be a big shot. Listen, do what I told you.
When you get your 3 men, put it up for you, they're not doing anything.
When awards for meritorious service are given out, Candid Mike will give one to those men who have to take orders from everyone, the waiters. What the service above and beyond the call of duty, one waiter leads them all. That's the man who carted the a la carte when Candid Mike came in one day to have a steak. To have, but not to hold. The plot was to keep sending the steak back to the chef each time the waiter brought it out. Before Candid Mike got to the restaurant, one microphone was hidden near the chef in the kitchen and one at the table in the dining room. The following short scenes keep switching from dining room to kitchen as the hidden microphones eavesdropped on the waiter's predicament at both ends. Here is Candid Mike, the waiter, and the chef as they played a game for big steaks, medium rare. We're in the dining room first. Listen.
This is Rick's special sirloin steak.
Sirloin steak, uh-huh.
70.
Yeah,
Medium rare.
medium rare.
Okay.
But on the rare side, right, huh?
Sirloin steak medium rare. What do you want? Sirloin steak medium rare. All right.
Looks good. Oh, wait a second, Wade. Wait, that's a little... Yeah, a little too rare. I mean, not too well done. Just a little...
What do you want? A little more for anyone. So what's the matter? Hey, let you know the first time right away. What's the matter? What? Medium rare, you white are you? Medium rare, you told me. White are you? You medium rare, give you rare, you say red white. Good for nothing.
Outside looks good. Wait, I still see it's still purple in there.
Still purple? Oh,
Look.
yeah, more fine.
Look.
More fine?
Make it a little bit better done, but not too well done. See?
All right,
Huh?
more fine.
What are you going to tell him? I mean, tell him the right thing now. Don't overcook it.
I'll tell him what you told me.
What's that?
A little more fire.
See, the outside is fine.
You know, the lights have something to do with it. The lights, you know, dim lights.
The dim lights make it look as though it's,
More there.
Does the cook got anything against me or what?
Of course.
Huh?
Well, he just, he thinks whatever he does is
Perfect. You think?
When I tell him it's not done enough, he says it is done enough. When I tell him it's too rare, he says, no, it's not too rare.
The shame the right order or what? Medium rare. You give me first rare, and then more fire. I give you medium. You give me an argument again. That means give me an argument, sir.
I'm not giving an argument.
If the customer sends it back, I have to bring it back.
That's not my fault.
Take the order.
Medium rare.
Well, so you brought it out.
He wants some more fire. That's very simple. I brought it back.
All right, I give you more fire.
He wants more fire. And I took it out. Again, he wants more fire. That's very simple. There's nothing to get excited about. This one here. What is the potato? You don't know the potato?
You never bring back potatoes.
Oh, boy. This steak is burnt, waiter. I couldn't eat that thing.
Well, I thought every time you send him outside, you put it under the fire. And naturally, every time it goes under the fire, it gets blacker and blacker.
Well, I don't want the steak now. I'm sorry, Tom.
All right?
Can he start a new one or something?
No.
Why not?
Steak?
It seems like such
Why
a simple
not
thing.
take a nice roast beef?
I don't want roast beef. I'd like steak. Please get me steak, medium rare. I'll do anything you
We'll
want.
start an order again.
I don't know what to tell you. How do you like your steak?
Medium rare.
My goodness. Tell the chef that there's a poor guy out here ready to eat the table.
Hungry.
Hungry?
All right.
He don't like it. Go on it now.
Why you don't want it?
Well, you're going to pay for it out of your pocket?
I just pay for
Hey,
my
come here, Alex. Alex, what kind of what are you? 25 to 30 years chef. I mean, I never see anything like that.
I never see
what kind of
myself.
customer you got?
Listen.
This thing is sticking here because of the thing.
It's not medium rare.
What are you trying to tell the chef his business? What are you going to tell me, my business?
I
medium rare. Give me
it's right.
business.
Because the cook is
He
right.
just says he sends it out, and he tells you it's medium rare. The customer says no.
The customer thinks it's not medium
Well, who do
rare.
you think knows more about a steak, the chef or the customer?
Now, this is a brand new stick, naturally.
Oh, my goodness. Listen, that guy is kidding me, or he's kidding you, or somebody is kidding somebody.
That's what I'm beginning to think.
Would you eat that steak?
No, it's too rare for me.
I never heard of such a thing. Are they saving the fire to heat the room or something?
Maybe.
No,
I
seriously.
don't know what to say.
What did they tell you when you go in there,
He
pal?
told me it's medium rare. It's some big in Taguir.
He told you
And the
this?
boss told me that the chef knows. If he says it's medium rare, it's medium rare.
Do you think he...
I tell the chef what he tell me. He tell me a little more fire. We give it a little more fire.
Do you think he's
You
mad?
see, this is what happened to the other steak.
What
a little
happened?
more fire, 3-4 times, a little more fire, then got burnt.
Is he mad because we sent the other steak back?
Well, he's not very happy. He says, this right now. I told you. I took the other steak, I put 4 times inside.
Yeah,
Now, it gradually it gets a little more fire, a little more fire.
yeah,
One of the times, it should have been just the way you like it.
yeah. But then it got too well done on the outside.
Well, before it got too well done, it was all right then.
No, just once more.
Oh.
See what he says.
What's the matter now? What's the matter with you, crazy? More fire. What do you mean more fire? What do you see? I don't know myself what it's all about. Well, I know what it's orders from you. You taking orders wrong. Get me that nothing to. You don't want to get more fire? No, I'm not giving that to me. What kind of customer is that? If I take clear, I want to go behind him. You think just like that. Take it out. You take it out, I said.
It looks just about right. I mean, I've been having steak. See, this looks fine.
You don't see the cook, I see the cook. And I see you. There's a way that is between 2 fires. The customer and the cook.
So, until next week, the Candid microphone goes back into hiding, the better to catch you in our act. Nothing is off the record when the man with the hidden mic crosses your path with the mic that hears without being seen, the Candid microphone.
The Candid microphone is tailored for your enjoyment, so we're always glad to hear your candid comments about it. Is there someone you'd like to hear us catch off guard? Tell it to Candid Mike. Write to Candid Microphone in care of the American Broadcasting Company, New York 20, New York. But whether or not you write, we invite you to eavesdrop in again next Thursday, when we'll be heard over most of these ABC stations. On the staff behind the Candid Microphone are Joe Graham, Glenn Osser, Nina Heberer, and John Larkin. Les Griffiths speaking. Candid Microphone is a copyrighted Alan A. Funt production.
The preceding program was transcribed.
The program Candid Microphone was released earlier from our Eastern studios and transcribed especially for this later, more convenient release to the West. We invite you to listen in again next Thursday evening at this same time over most of these same ABC stations for the highly entertaining Candid Microphone. This is ABC, the American Broadcasting Company.
10 o'clock at KECA, AM and FM, Los Angeles.